Hello, everybody. It's Goodell Multiverse here, and we are on to our Multiverse Minute. Maybe 45 minutes, sometimes an hour. Today might go a little longer. I'm not sure. We got three things, but there's a lot of meat to this today. And hey, just so you know, happy birthday, America! 250 years. You imagine? Still a young country, though.
Yeah.
But man, we're kicking good. Hey, you can all say what you want. You are lucky you won the lottery if you're born in the United States.
Yeah, there's a reason so many people want to come here, whether to visit or stay. So
we'll discuss how to make
we're
it
that
better at a
good.
different time in a different podcast, but be very happy we live somewhere where we can do this like we are now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, I echo your sentiment. God bless America. Happy birthday. All right.
So I'm going to jump right into. I'll read our first one, and then I'll let you take it over from there, and we'll talk about it. This
Okay.
one's pretty easy and simple and fun. We're going to talk about X-Men 97, guys. Is it really too weird, or is it not weird, or is it all right? In anticipation of season 2 coming out July 1st, which was yesterday. The first 4 episodes of X-Men 97 season 2 premiered and left jaws dropped by attendees. We also got a new trailer.
Yeah.
I've watched the first 3 episodes, which is what's available on.
Yeah. Actually, I am sorry. I noticed on here, I believe that's the same write-up that I had for the last one.
So guys, let's what this is what we're doing for X-Men 97 is we're going to talk about the first 3 episodes of it.
My apologies.
Yeah, I should have noticed
when I did this up because it was just back to back X-Men. So really it's the first impressions of for us
General
now.
Public,
the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, sorry about that, guy. Like I said, it's 90,000 degrees out here right now. Give us a break. Anyways,
and forgive me. All right, so
have you watched them? I've watched the first 3.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I've watched the first 3. It took me a while to get to them, I'll be honest. Usually for a show like this, I'm so eager to watch it. I watch it the time it exact comes out type thing, but we're reviewing Spider-Man, Werewolf by Night, and part of me is like, I want to make sure I lock in those first, and then I could watch this and not feel like rushed in watching it.
Yeah.
And so I watched it between last night and this morning, so it's very fresh in my brain. And I gotta tell you, this is really cool. This is, in my opinion, a step up from season 1. And in a couple different ways. One, I love this. I love that we released the first 3 episodes, and I feel like that's intentional because each episode deals with different parts of where we left off from season 1. They have the past, present, and future. And I loved exploring every bit of each episode to see what does the future look like right now. What is their present going on with Jubilee, who's kicking some major butt, by the way.
Oh yeah.
And then I just have to say, just a personal preference, I love the past one, the 3rd episode.
Yeah.
So not just because Rogue's in it, of course, but Young Apocalypse. Oh my gosh.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
I would love to see Oscar Isaac do something like that for Apocalypse for a change. Just, like a couple scenes of just young Apocalypse. That's so cool. Anyways, so I love them. I gotta say my favorite parts, I'll just touch upon this real quick. For the first episode is all the dynamic between young Nate Summers with his mom and dad and seeing how do they justify to them why they're not here, but also understand why they're not here. And it was very well handled, I think, for the writing part. And the writing, by the way, the lines for Storm, for Cyclops,
Storm is so good,
for Jean. Oh my gosh, whoever is writing this, they need to be like behind the scenes involved in the X-Men MCU when they come in, because just some of these beasts, I could listen to him talk all the time. It's so cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, they really got the writing down, at least for the dialogue, to a T. Yeah, I like that in the first episode. The second episode with Jubilee, like I said, she kicks a lot of butt, and I do appreciate them demonstrating a little more of her power set, that everyone just thinks of her just shooting off fireworks, but really what those really are mini explosions that just look like fireworks. So to really see how they could tweak that into, she can make it look like a boomerang going around. She can make it look like a star being exploded. It's really cool. And I appreciate that. Because in our fan writing of X-Men, we wanted that type of Jubilee to be in there to really show a little bit more than the side character that she usually gets to be. So I appreciate that. And of course, my favorite moment is Emma Frost in the second episode. I love that they brought her into it. I love all of her dialogue, her sass, and that she double-crossed them. I'm like, that's exactly the Emma that we need, and I can't wait to see when she does decide to be a good guy because, oh, she could be your best friend or your worst enemy, I tell you. Anyways, and you could tell how much I love Emma Frost. But then the third episode, like I said, is my favorite, only because I love dealing with the past stuff. I thought that was really cool. There are times where Magneto is talking to Insaba Nur and he says a Magneto line like, you must realize you're a god among insects. And I'm thinking, don't encourage him because we know what's going to happen. Part of me is yelling at the TV. Part of me is like, have you not learned yet? and then there's other parts I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing. But also, Magneto, he's one of those where it's either could go one way or the other. You really don't know.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate that because it keeps me on my toes and at the edge of my seat. But also part of me is like, don't put those two in the same room. Not while Apocalypse is so young and gullible.
Yeah. No wonder he gets bad habits.
Right?
Yeah.
Now you blame Magneto for it.
Right.
But I did like that end touch of that episode where Magneto and Xavier are talking to each other and giving different points of view. And I actually agree more of Magneto on this side, where he says to Xavier, whoa, I'm trying to remember the exact wording, so forgive me if I get it wrong, but he says something to the degree of, what if Apocalypse had your dream? And instead of trying to conquer the world, he tried to save it and bring humanity together as the first mutant, as opposed to decades upon centuries later of now you're trying to fix a broken world. You know, I love that aspect of it. And part of me is like, I want to see how that plays out. We know it's Apocalypse. It's not going to play out exactly to that. But to give that little sense of hope for all of them, especially Xavier, I think that's kind of cool. So,
yeah.
That's just my thought. All right. Well, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm gonna say a few things I like, and then I have a pretty. I wouldn't say it's a hot take of this whole thing, but I do have a real big thing to say about all this. First of all, I love the exposition in this stuff. So, like you said, the writing is on point. When they're explaining things and showing stuff and doing some showing back in time or whatever, or just how they explain stuff, none of it's boring. None of it feels out of place. It's in the character's voice. This is some of the best Storm we've had for a while. I love it. Um, I like the wacky sci-fi future stuff. By the way, I want to point out, and it might not be true or not, but in my mind, is not some of the visuals in the future. Does it not remind you of the Bryan Singer's Days of Future Past future look?
Yep.
Like when you look at the beginning of that movie with like the neon and the ground and the pathway, that's when I'm like, oh my God, it looks like it comes right out of that movie. Which is actually quite amazing, in my opinion. My only, let me get done with what I don't like real quick, because the rest I like. I don't care about Morph. It bothers me. I don't like his look. I didn't like it in the first place. His lines are terrible. He's the only character for me. This is my big thing. What I love about these X-Men cartoons, especially season 2, and season 1, but season 2 so far is proven so far to be potential probably way better than season 1. Is it transported me back to when I was a kid. I'm like, man, I watched it with my daughter, and she had never seen these. So don't call CPS on me that she hasn't seen the X-Men stuff, even though it's definitely child abuse. Because she should see it. So I'm remembering over the next few months, we're watching as many X-Men things as we can. So she's gonna watch the movies with me as I do them, and we're gonna catch up. And she's on board because she goes, I don't know why you guys love it so much. Well, have you seen it? She goes, no. I'm like, oh no. So we gotta fix that, guys.
Yes.
But I told her it's even the opening song and how they do it with showing the character names and stuff, which is something I want to point out. I like when it's going to do different versions. It's a different opening for each, which is an awesome idea. But like I told her, this just makes me feel like when I was a kid, this is how it felt. And it looks like when you're a kid. They talk like when you're a kid. The dialogue's on point. It's just awesome. Morph's the only one that makes this show in the moments the stupid little moments he's in feel modern.
Mm,
And I
yeah.
gotta be honest, it's kinda like, I just wish you just stay true to what it was before and not giving in to whatever the woke reason is that you have him this way. And I'm okay with it, whatever you guys are gonna do what you do is creative freedom, it's your stuff.
Mhm.
But I just, it's just, I don't know, just there's something about it that when he shows up, I'm like, "Oh, he's so new and abrasive that way that makes me go, this makes me feel like a modern." And I struggle with the modern cartoons. And this technically is a modern cartoon, but God, don't feel like it at all. Feels like it's the old show,
Yeah, and that's what they
But
wanted you to feel, is just like
exactly.
a continuation. Yeah,
Yeah,
so I agree. I'm not too much of a fan personally of the character, not only the redesign, but also the reimagination of Morph. I
yeah.
kinda liked how he was in the original show, but that's the only character I will say that
It's the old
I have a little bit of an issue with, but
yeah,
other than that, the rest of them, they're spot on.
yeah.
Great.
And I like the idea of sending a team in the past to change things.
Mhm,
And then, well, we'll send someone in the future in case that doesn't work. It's like you got 2 bullets.
mhm,
How are we gonna use them, right?
mhm,
And I gotta be honest with you. This show is probably the single thread that I hold on to. No, it's the second thread now. The first thread is that they hired the people who wrote The Bear to write X-Men.
mhm,
And to me, that's good because we're gonna get some real deep dialogue. We're gonna get things that have more meaning than just what's on the surface. But this show is the other, especially watching these 3 episodes, I actually have a little more faith in what the MCU can do with a live action X-Men because they get X-Men. The dialogue in this is excellent. The way the characters are, I mean, you get this is awesome Magneto, this is awesome Xavier. Just you just describing the conversation between them 2. This should be in a live action movie conversation.
mhm.
I even go as far as say this, guys. I almost wish they didn't make this season.
Mm,
I almost wish that the mutant saga that they started, I almost wish that they saved this story for an Avengers style movie apocalypse Star Wars story.
mm.
Could you imagine, you know, X-Men apocalypse in the MCU being them sending 2 teams to do just like they're doing in this?
Yeah, yeah,
How
having
crazy
having
awesome would
3
that be?
teams, past, present, future. You could do a Days of Future Past with apocalypse scenario
Oh
type
my
thing like
god,
this,
that would be so
and then
awesome.
incorporate some of the other characters we like the Avengers and all that, so but it's mainly mutants fighting mutants and
And the
everyone else is
Avengers are
there.
mixed in.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the hard part, I think, when we're getting into talking about, like, the future of the MCU, incorporating mutants. They're a whole race. They take up a lot of stuff, and so it's how there's not too many that I could think of on the top of my head. And I know there are some in the comics, obviously, where it's a company-wide event, so everyone's involved in it. But where it's a mutant as the bad guy, like Apocalypse or a Sinister type thing, and then it has to be an Avengers level event that includes everybody. Most of the time, it's X-Men fighting them, and that's not bad. That's good. We like it. It works, of course. But
What a unique mix that could make.
yes,
I
yeah.
can see
How
the
can you
logo
do
now.
that?
It'd be Avengers Apocalypse with the X-Men logo behind it.
Right?
Oh, someone who was sitting in the meeting for this season and didn't say, maybe we should save that for the movie because this is a great idea. I'm not complaining. I'm loving what we're getting. I'm not
Oh,
saying definitely don't think I don't want the show gone.
yeah. Oh,
I'm
no.
just sitting thinking to
Yeah.
myself, just the concept of the young in Sabanur,
Mhm.
like being like still kind of like you might be able to change this guy's mind and having that how many times can we have Magneto and Xavier have the conversation about ideals and what should be done, and it doesn't feel not fresh? This felt fresh.
Mhm.
Like, this felt like
Yes.
all the times we've heard them talking about how things should be done, this is like, wow, what a unique way of thinking about it.
Mhm.
Because like you said, Magneto's right, and Xavier's probably even like, "Geez, I kinda understand where you're coming from."
Mhm.
Even Xavier's just a little more cautious, right? But Magneto's kinda, "Hey, think about it, Charles, in the long run, this guy could be the answer to what our whole problem has been."
Yeah.
And then what a unique movie to see evil Apocalypse in the future, them battling him, and them trying to make him good in the past, and how it might emerge. Like whatever happens, maybe how crazy would it be if they succeed in the past and halfway, partway through, you get to the end of the movie, and the end of the movie is things change and he's a good
Mhm.
guy, or at least you
Yeah.
think he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then Sinister's in the scene. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
just saying, there's so I was just so impressed where I'm like, I just hope, like you said, sit these guys down and say, help us with the movie too, because they are writing the right X-Men. I mean,
Mhm.
the this is my favorite. I loving Scott, loving a Cyclops, loving. I told you, I'm going to draw a thing. I draw a lot, guys. I'm going to draw it and I'll present it here on a thing of Cyclops doing his beam, all that cool shit. But like that line he says at the end of that first episode to his son, when he says, "So what about these people? What do we do?" And he just says, "Good men don't. They do. Good men." Is it? Yeah, good men don't search leadership, son. They summon to it. I'm like, man, if he didn't learn that from Xavier,
Mm.
right?
Mhm.
Like, if you're good and there's people that are good, you're gonna find each other, and
Mm.
then we're gonna fight together. Is it this? This show is so full of hope, and it's like this is the X-Men. This is the
Yes.
X-Men.
Yes.
So what gives me pause and makes me go, okay, wipe my brow and just calm down, because at least someone working at Marvel right now knows how they should be.
Yes.
So, and then like you said, we have some good examples, like the 1 minute scene in Doctor Strange,
Yeah.
Multiverse of Madness, where they got that Xavier right. Then they killed him,
Yeah.
but they got that right.
But at least the moment you had him on screen,
Was true to
it
who he
was,
is.
oh,
Yeah. So like, I mean, it's a bad movie where I felt the most emotion in. It's such a mixed bag. But
mhm.
like this though, it gives me hope for the future of what the X-Men is. It just gives me I'm looking forward. I haven't been this interested in a cartoon in years.
Yeah.
You can't get me to watch cartoons, guys. Like I said, it's not I don't diss it. It's just not for me. And it's just not my medium I excel in. I mean, I've only seen Toy Story 1. Sorry. Everyone's saying I'm missing out, but it's like, I don't know. I don't really feel like it. So, but I'll eventually watch some of this stuff. I've been working on it. And maybe through some of our retrospectives, we'll do a few fun ones.
We'll do a Toy Story
Yeah.
special retrospective
Yeah. Yeah.
episodes.
I only asked if we do cartoons at all, we have to do American Tail first. Because if you're going to talk cartoons, I like the old school, the really scary ones. American Tail's scary.
Mm.
Those cats, hell. Release the secret weapon. I love that show. That's a great movie. Or the wave in the beginning with the face. No way. Like, but we got to talk about the ones that are Littlefoot watching his mom die
Oh.
before time.
Mm.
Like this, I mean, that's some
Mm.
of this. I can't handle it.
Yeah,
But that's
I
what they
agree.
had us watching. You guys old enough know. Sammy knows.
Yeah.
You guys think some of this stuff is sad that you see in some of your cartoons.
Oh,
We watched her lay there with her last words after a T-Rex gouged her out.
yep.
That's heavy, man. Anyway,
Yeah.
leaving that fox behind.
Yep.
That old lady, she can go to hell. So yeah. But anyway, how do you do that? It's
Right.
like if you love your dog, just imagine driving them out in the woods and leaving them there. What
Yeah.
is your problem?
Or Bambi's mother.
Because
Oh.
why? We don't even understand why
Yeah.
she did it still to this day. She did. You guys don't get it. You're not supposed to. Come on. Anyway, back to X-Men.
Yes.
I love Young Apocalypse. I love the past stuff. This is going to be a ball. I can't wait to talk more. We should talk about the next episodes as they come.
Yes.
And even if you want to do it in this segment or we'll just add it on, I definitely want to talk about it. But well, the bigger take I have on it is part of me is almost like, boy, this is Avengers kind of movie.
Mm.
This could be a good movie, let alone
Well, the episode,
season.
yeah, that you're talking about, that's my favorite episode. The 3 is the third one about the past. So the Pharaoh is King Ramatut, who is a Kang variant. So there are ways you could bring
You could make
all
this
other
happen.
things. Yeah, this is,
Mm.
you know what I love a lot about this is, and because it's Marvel Studios is doing it now, they have the creative freedom to use anybody. That's why we saw in the first episode, Morph turned into Thor for a brief moment. Be like, that's kind of cool. But this episode, this is bad guy versus bad guy, and the heroes are there to try to get back to the future and figure out,
It is.
oh, they have a chance to change one of these guys. Oh my gosh, that is a cool movie concept because you don't want to root for Apocalypse. You don't want to root for Ramatut, but you're like, What do we do?
Yeah, and if you think it's too complicated, just look at Days of Future Past. Similar in that sense, where it's about going back, changing people's minds. Look at it changed Mystique completely, right? Like, I just had an epiphany as you were talking. If this was going to be a live action movie, I have the perfect fan casting for Apocalypse, young and older.
Who?
Tom Hardy.
Playing both?
You imagine? Because he's the kind of actor that dedicates. He could lose a little weight. You'd use a little CGI and some makeup to make him look a tad younger, but he's a mutant, so he doesn't. You don't have to explain why he looks the same age. He's just Apocalypse, right?
Well,
Yeah. We would just say, and then later it's obviously like he looks wild, but can you imagine if he gets a little smaller and then they give him a year to gain some weight and he gets like Bane size to play Apocalypse, and the actor that he is, he'd be an awesome Apocalypse. He would be an awesome because he could be a very menacing actor. Like he's a great actor for that. He'd be an awesome Apocalypse. I love Oscar Isaacs. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But if we're redoing it, right? I mean, I don't think Oscar would touch it with a 10-foot pole. You all crapped on him so much. He's like, fine, take it. But which I feel bad because if he was here, I'd hug him because he's amazing. First of all, he's a great actor in everything he's done, but then let alone what he did with Apocalypse. It's just spectacular.
Whether he had he said, we talked about this on the podcast before, that he didn't have the best experience because of all the stuff they had to put on. But I mean, they make them realistic to the best you could. And honestly, that was the best way to do Apocalypse, especially at that time. So
I don't know how familiar you are with Tom Hardy, other than what you saw like with Venom and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that really all you know?
Venom and Bane.
Off air, I'm going to show you some clips of him and other stuff. And it's like his Apocalypse would be awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying I wouldn't want him to be just like Bane, but he's the kind of guy that would get all big to just kind of, oh man, fan casting, call him, back the truck up. So yeah. I'm all set with it. We can go I can talk another half hour about this, but I'm ready to move on if you want.
Yeah. No, honestly, I agree. I agree with everything you said. To the team, if you're listening, if anyone in Marvel Studios is listening, to Lenore Zane, any of the voice actors that tune into this at all, if any of you do, which thank you if you do, but congratulations. This is a banger of a season to start with. We are looking forward to every episode as the week drops, and I can't wait to see what story you're going to tell. I love, by the way, that's on the screen right now, this foreshadowing. He sees the big Apocalypse, and once the dust fades away, it's young Apocalypse. I'm like, that is so cool.
It's genius.
That is so cool.
By the way, I like Magneto with the beard. Bearded Magneto is awesome.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, but you're right. That is like, I could see Tom playing this. Like just this, like, oh God.
So
why are they doing it here? Like, but like I said, at the same time, because they're doing it here, makes me think, boys, they could do good later. If they pay attention and they know what they got. Maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
I guess for us, I think it's more of how they get there that is our problem. I don't know if I'm so much worried about the movies that they'll make with X-Men later as I am how they're going to make the X-Men exist.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree.
It's the path to it that bothers me more than the actual getting it later. Because if they were just already here, I think I would trust them with the movie already. For the most part.
Yeah.
But this mix, we'll get talking about it as we go with a couple of things we have on here. So.
Yeah, totally. So guys, comment down below and let us know your thoughts on your first impressions of season 2 of X-Men 97. Did you like them? Did you not like them? What were the things that you would nitpick about them? And of these 3 episodes, which time period do you prefer? And do you like this? Probably your favorite so far. Let us know in the comments below. All right. I'll kick off our second topic for our Multiverse Minute, y'all. So, Spider-Man Brand New Day. We can't go a week without talking about it as we're leading up to now 3 weeks until it comes out.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Like, the anticipation is high, guys. Anyways, like 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah, but by then, by the 4th week mark, we'll be here. Probably talking to you about it, honestly. So anyways.
Actually, yeah, you're right. That's wild.
Yeah, because right now, timestamp this, guys. It's July 3rd that we're recording this. You're probably seeing it, though, on Independence Day, July 4th or July 5th, because it takes us a day or two for editing, finalizing, all that stuff. And so 2, 3, and the 4th week would be the last week of July, and we already decided because it comes out on a Friday and we're going to see it on the Friday, we're not going to record like we normally do on a Friday. We're going to wait till Saturday to record so we could talk to you about it while it's fresh and right before that review embargo lifts type thing. So we're all ready for it when we
want to try
launch.
to attempt to see it twice? I'm to tell you to do this honest with this. I wouldn't mind if we go watch it with family like we did, and then you and I just go again.
Hey, I'm fine with that.
Then we take notes while
If we could do that, and if there's any seats available, oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, I just realized, guys, we're doing Thor Ragnarok next, and then it's Infinity War.
Right?
Oh my god, what a so excited. All right.
Anyway, so
what we're talking about,
Spider-Man, brand new day. So there's some questions out there about the IMAX release, and there is a new poster, an IMAX poster, but the IMAX poster is in Japanese. There's no American IMAX poster. And there's a reason for that. I had to pull that up. Spider-Man Brand New Day will not be released in IMAX. Usually that would be a big scandal. Like, what the heck is going on? So I looked it up just to make sure we're all in the clear and we all know what's going on. This is primarily because Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey secured exclusive month-long hold on domestic IMAX screens during the Spidey release window.
Yep.
So there are other theaters, of course, you can see them in some of their premium stuff like the 4DX or the D-Box from Cinemark, things like that.
Have real 3D probably and all that.
Yeah, Screen X, I hear, is another one. Adobe Cinemas at AMC Theater. But only international markets, like Japan in particular, and other ones. I guess even China and South Korea, it says here, will have a Brand New Day with The Odyssey. But for domestically in America, you're not going to be able to see Spidey, at least for the opening weekend in IMAX.
I think it'll eventually hit some IMAX theaters, but right off the bat, no.
Yeah, no, I get it because they've been hyping the Odyssey up for a long time. It's Christopher Nolan. Heck, they did the pre-sale of the tickets 1 exact year in advance, so they are already gearing up for this movie. So I'm not surprised they made exclusive deals with IMAX. So that's part of the competition out there. It just means that for Spider-Man fans that want to see an IMAX, you may have to wait at least a week, if not longer.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, any thoughts on that? Any further?
I have a few thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay, guys. You'll see it in IMAX. You're just not going to see it right away in IMAX. This is controversial. I know this is a Marvel podcast and we love these movies, but I fall on the side of the Odyssey here. For 2 reasons. 1, it's Christopher Nolan. And for 2, the Odyssey is completely filmed in IMAX. So the whole idea of the Odyssey and what he's doing with it is a reinvention of how you're going to watch this movie. So it would be almost, why wouldn't IMAX commit to this because of the new camera and all that they did?
Yeah.
So it's just,
Makes
you're just
sense.
going to have to deal with that, guys. And I don't know if you've heard, but there's a big backlash on the Odyssey right now. They're upset about certain characters, and they're upset that Tom Holland calls his father and a dad at one point. They think that kind of language for those kind of people it doesn't make sense. I mean, I'm telling you right now, whatever all this bull crap is going on online that these people are doing backlash to this, you need to shut up. Because it's not a problem. This is not a problem. It's Christopher Nolan, guys. You guys are going to lose. These movies are fantastic. For some reason, it's like cancel culture is looking for a new target. And it's him. I don't know why they're doing it, but this last couple days, there's been a lot of release of, look what they're doing and this and that. And guys, this is a fake story. It's not real. Like, it's a story based off some maybe real events that have a lot of mystical things that go on in it. It is literally a fantasy movie. What are you doing? And you're not going to win. It's going to be the best movie of the year. I mean, it just is. Until Nolan makes a bad movie, I'm not going to say it's bad. I have enough in me to know, or enough, I would put money down enough to anything he makes at this point is going to be, yep, that's going to be great. You can't name one bad Christopher Nolan movie to me. I'm sure there's different opinions, but if you think the movies are bad, you're wrong. So I'm just, I'm out there with it. I'm not going to lie to you. These movies are genius. Oppenheimer's not for everybody, but it's a great movie. And not all these movies are for everybody, but they're great movies. The Odyssey, I cannot wait to see this movie. It looks phenomenal. So yeah, sorry, Spider-Man, but Spider-Man is gonna look great in IMAX. But Nolan, he's one of those filmmakers like a James Cameron, where not only does he make a movie, but he does something new
Mhm,
in the industry to help move it forward,
mhm,
which is why you'll never see Disney do well with their Infinity Vision. Because he's one of these, you got a director out there literally still making product for an IMAX. And it's never gonna be owned or beat by anybody else until Disney comes up with their own thing to make. Because you're just using a name to brand something, when IMAX is building things to make better movies.
mhm,
You're never gonna beat it until you do that.
mhm.
So you can get as greedy as you want, Disney, but you're not gonna get it, and you will lose out every time like this until you do that. And it's not gonna hurt Spider-Man anyways,
Oh,
'cause,
yeah,
overseas is gonna make it work, and then 2 weeks in at the most, they'll be on IMAX as well.
and,
That also depends if the
yeah,
Odyssey if you guys succeed at making the Odyssey get canceled, then you'll have it earlier. If you don't succeed at it, then you might have to wait 2 or 3 weeks because the Odyssey is gonna take a lot of seats.
mhm,
That's the only thing Spider-Man's got against it right now is I gotta be honest with you, if it was Spider-Man or the Odyssey, I'm doing Spider-Man because I'm doing the podcast. Not that I don't wanna see Spider-Man that bad, but don't you don't don't get it wrong. The next weekend, I'm going to see the Odyssey, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
mhm,
or maybe even that same weekend. Maybe I don't even do it as a double feature. Maybe we'll do it as a double feature, maybe for fun, because it's gonna be a great movie. And yeah, that until you start bringing something to the table for IMAX, they're always gonna side with the people that make their brand stand out. And Denis Villeneuve with Dune, Christopher Nolan with the stuff that he does, even James Cameron when he does some of these new things, they're always gonna go with that because they're gonna be, "See, this is why we're top dog."
mm,
But th you're gonna be fine. Spider-Man's still gonna make a ton of money, so
yeah,
I think this is inconsequential, but it is definitely it's interesting to see that, oh, it's I because 'cause I'm sure it would look great in IMAX,
mhm.
but this movie just has you beat, so
Yeah, well, and one thing that this Spider-Man has that the previous Spider-Man didn't have was a China release.
that's
So,
true,
and,
yeah, because they don't like sorcerers over in China
well, yeah, Chi
or whatever they're
yeah,
no offense, I guess.
well, great offense in my opinion because
That's
I
their
think
issue, right? It's the mystical
they
stuff
do.
they have a problem with.
Yeah. Though
Yeah.
they didn't want Shang-Chi from my understanding
Yeah, they
too,
had a hard
and
time with
that
that.
literally is an homage to past martial arts from China that did not make them a mockery at all, actually made them kinda cool again.
Yeah.
So, but that's their loss.
So once again, happy birthday, United States, because 'cause we'll watch all these movies.
Amen. Alright. Yeah, so what do you guys think? Are you bummed it's not gonna be an IMAX opening weekend, or are you just like us and we're like, "You're gonna get it eventually,
Yeah.
probably sooner than later," type thing, or what do you guys think? Do you think that this is, are we missing out? Are we not? Comment below, let us know.
I say make it a double feature like they did with Oppenheimer. I just don't have a good name for this one, Spider-Man Odyssey.
Mm. Odd
I just
Spidey.
Spider Sea. No, that's weird. That
Spider
sounds real bad. Anyways, it
Otter
sounds like
Man.
seeds. Yeah.
Odyssey Man.
Odyssey Man.
There you go. Alright, Ike, I should say, why don't you take it off our last topic?
So this one here, guys, is a deep one. This one's gonna get some we might get heated, we might not. You're gonna see some emotions. Doomsday plot leak, guys. I mean, someone needs to call a plumber because if this is true, then Disney's they gotta work on keeping their people quiet. John Campea. Sorry, we are this one not one of the first times, but one time that we are taking some news from a fellow podcaster who we only are putting in the news because we do hold John that high in regard.
Yep.
That when he says stuff and he puts on his show, I've always trusted John Campea about what he talks about, what he says, and being honest with us.
Mhm.
And I hope he hears us. I want him to know that we feel that way. Watch the show for a long. I've watched him since he was in AMC. I always thought that his integrity with that is real good, and
Mhm.
I trust him. Him and Rob both, and the
Oh,
whole crew,
yes.
fantastic.
Yes,
So because
completely.
John Campea did it, we're kind of doing this news based off of him. So John, you made the news for us.
Yeah.
So John Campea of the John Campea Show on YouTube has stated for months that he has had exclusive insight to the Avengers Doomsday film. He recently confirmed on his show that the full plot details have leaked online, and he did say that it would eventually.
Yeah, he did, and to his credit.
Yeah, and he's been right about that before. So here's the question that we have. How do we feel about that? And should we be spoiling ourselves? And Sammy and I we'll talk about this part of it first, and then we'll talk about what we talked about last night.
Yeah.
Or we can talk about it all at once, it doesn't matter. But it's interesting, this whole how do you feel about leaks,
Mm.
Sammy? What
All right. Well,
yeah,
so
what's your thoughts? What's your initial thoughts right off the bat anyway?
my initial thoughts are I'm surprised. And this is I want to make sure I articulate this and explain this coherently enough, and I'm not jumping all around the place. So bear with me, folks. Marvel Studios is not known for full plot detail leaks. We've talked about this on the podcast before, that Sony has had a hard time here or there when it comes to like the trailers being prematurely leaked or characters being revealed that weren't supposed to be, things like that. And that's a Sony issue. But also Sony has had a long time of fighting against hackers where their company for a lot of times, more than that could count from my understanding, always has some sort of cyber attack. And so there's always some leaked emails or leaked plot things or leaked theories or leaked movie details that were never supposed to be revealed to the public, and now they are. So, but that's a Sony thing. This is Marvel. Sony has nothing to do with Avengers Doomsday. This is completely Disney and Marvel Studios, and they are not known for having a leak, whether it's maybe a minor insight of a slip of the tongue of a certain character is one thing, or a certain plot detail, but for the full-on plot of their biggest feature film that they're anticipating and been building towards for over almost 2 years now, they've been working on this thing. That surprises me. And that also makes me a little skeptical on if this is indeed the final cut of the film. Because as we know, films go through 2 or 3 rewrites in the midst of the process of filming. Sometimes scenes work, sometimes they don't work. It's the whole reason reshoots are in people's contracts for either re-editing purposes, taking out or putting in characters. Maybe deals didn't close at the time they wrote the script for certain characters, and they were like, we're never getting Halle Berry. She's too big for us now. Then all of a sudden, oh, she's returning. We have to redo the whole third plot. We have no idea. So I don't want to say that John is lying or Rob is lying that they saw the script. But I don't think, honestly, from my personal perspective, and I will hold to this until I see Doomsday and maybe see what this plot leak is if we decide to do that. Because that was one of our debates last night, guys, is we're not even sure if we want to partake in this plot leak, because we really don't want to spoil the movie for us, but at the same time, we want to kind of know what's going on in the conversation.
We also want to be relevant in this YouTube world because we've started this.
Yes.
So we don't want to be the guys not talking about it. At the same time, that was also part of our conversation because you viewers might want to hear it, and if you like listening to us, you want us to tell you, But I don't know if we want to know. So
yeah, it's that fine line of do we spoil this if this is legit, or do we just see how it's going to play out and then go from there? We kind of are at a tug of war there. I think personally that this may be a true version of the script. I don't think it's the final draft. I think that I am surprised that someone on the inside, no offense, John, love you. As we said in the beginning of this, I watch you daily as well. I tune into your podcast. I even subscribe to your membership thing. You're great. I love listening to you guys. Even if I think your opinions are a little wrong, that's my personal taste. That's
not
what
makes it fun.
Yeah, that's not because I think you're a bad guy. So I digress there. By the way, you recently showed a picture of your pool on your podcast.
So nice.
I love it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You got a great piece of property, sir. Congratulations. Anyways, so besides that, I find it very suspicious that someone high up in Marvel Studios would allow someone like a John Campea to see this script. I get it that people know people on the inside, but you're literally walking up to I know you're not a news reporter, John, but at the same time, you do report the news to a degree.
Well, to us movie fans, you
It
are a news reporter.
Yeah, exactly, yeah,
So
right? Yeah.
whether you qualify that yourself or not,
Yeah.
John tends to downplay himself sometimes.
Yeah, you're very
Hope you
highly
understand
respected.
how important you are in a lot of podcasters
Yes.
and how serious we take your opinion and what you do in your show.
Yes.
So I know you very humble about it, but you do know. I know
Mm.
you know.
Yeah.
But it's a big deal.
I just think this is my thoughts on this is I'm surprised that Marvel would even do this. That will allow someone like you who has a platform and a big following and are highly respected, that you would see the full details of their biggest movie. Maybe it's part of a publicity thing to help them hype it up, but also I'm kind of shocked that, John, you even said on your show this is real, because it easily could have been real and you could have bit your tongue about it, and then no one else would have known and been very skeptical this whole time and just passed it as a rumor. And by the time we saw the movie, you would have forgotten about it because it's literally 6 to 7 months from now. So it's a double-edged sword. You kind of confirmed it by, if this is real, you've kind of helped with the spoilage of it. Whether you intended to do that or not, I don't know. If this is just your way of making news for your show, congratulations. Everyone's talking about you a lot more so now. But was it worth it? If it's real. So that's my thoughts on it initially. And as far as actually seeing the plot details, we go through our rumor rundown whenever a certain thought about Doomsday comes out, and we want to dissect that thought. We're going to get into one in a couple minutes with Magneto and Spider-Man's villains. That doesn't mean that that's the full movie. So we could talk about speculations, yes, but
Leaks are different.
leaks that have, at this point now, John, you've thrown your name behind it as validity to the leak. It's not just someone wrote this, posted on Reddit, and now we're all running wild with it. This is something that you are now giving credit to this leak as real, which is either, I can't even say either very good or very bad. It's sad, my opinion. But anyways, that's just my initial thoughts on it.
I have a slightly different take. We
That's
have
okay.
a different take
Yeah.
on this, which is good though. I don't know if it's so bad. What I agree with 100% that you're saying is I think John is smart enough to know that some people are going to take certain things seriously if it comes from him or not.
Mm.
And I think that something that's you're trying to point at, which I do understand you're saying, that it wouldn't have been on our show today if it wasn't on your show.
Mm.
I think that's kind of the point I'm making too, is John is enough of an influencer in this medium where if it's news on his show, it's something that we consider to talk about as well, or
Yeah.
it's something that we take as that's real. He's not making this up.
This wouldn't be in
So
our multiverse minute if
whether
he's
it's a
in.
real
Yeah.
plot leak or not, what you know of it, you're telling the truth about.
Yeah.
And we trust that part of it for sure.
Yes.
So when you do put it in here as this, it's almost like you have now kind of perpetuated this. Now, anyone that does go, so if I go watch this a day ago, here's a new plot leak, and they watch it, and you just got done saying all of them out there saying it's pretty much true right now, then it is spoiling that movie for them. But it's still their choice to click on it. And
That's true.
I'm going to give you that
Yes.
credit. You are 100% right when you say that. They can choose not to watch that stuff. And I completely agree.
And I give him credit on his show for
That's
blurring out everything and
100%.
not talking about it. So
Right.
good for you on that.
That's why I'm not ever going to give him crap for talking about it on his show, because you don't have to pay attention to it. They've chose to do it. John can get on there and talk about fluffy kittens all day if he wants.
Mhm.
It's his show, and we'll trust you on what you say about the kittens, but because you have been very trustworthy. I think, and the point I want to kind of talk about that we differ a little bit about
Yeah.
is I don't know if Marvel's necessarily not known for plot leaks. I will say this: they're not known for plot leaks this far out
Mm.
of a movie. I think when you get close to these dates, like I think right now, I didn't watch them, but just for a point, I went on and looked at Spider-Man No Way Home or a Brand New Day plot leaks, and there's, as of like 16 hours ago, there's a new one, and there's tons of them. Now, whether they're real or not is the question, right?
Mhm.
And that's where that line is blurred here when it's on your show about the one that you said is real because it matches the stuff you guys read. But I think that some of these can be real because I have for other movies that I haven't really cared about. But I'll be honest with you, a couple of the Godzilla movies that had come out, I wasn't going to get a chance to go see, and I just wanted to know what was going to happen.
Mhm.
And some of those plot leaks were out a month, and they were exact dead on.
Mhm.
Now, what I will say about plot leaks, though, for the most part, and I think John touched on this a little bit in the show, somewhat, or Rob may have said it. By the way, Rob, we trust you, was very much as well.
Oh,
But
yes.
I also think that if you and I did decide to dive into this, it's going to be more of a bullet point of the story and a lot of the nuances of the little things
Mhm.
aren't gonna be there. So I don't think this plot leak probably has this person versus this person, or how this person dies,
Yeah.
or even down to, like, a detail of a specific detail of why something's a certain way.
Mhm.
I think it's gonna be here's how the opening of the movie, there's a battle here, these characters meet, there's a battle here, and this is how it ends.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's some spoilerage there, but I bet there's a lot of stuff in the middle that's just like, you
Yeah.
didn't see that coming, you know? And I think they touched upon this, where the nuance of the characters and the dialogue and how they do the things is
Mhm.
definitely a surprise. The only thing I'll ever say to you and Rob that I disagree about when you talk about this kind of stuff is, yeah, you guys are excited to see the movie, even though you know what's gonna happen in the movie. Because for you, it's like, I just can't wait to see how they're gonna do it. I still think that I'm gonna call bullshit on that. Not for you guys and how you feel, because I'm not saying you're lying to us, but I don't. I personally like it when if I know that Iron Man's gonna die at the end of Infinity War. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, where you been? Um,
Not Infinity War, but close.
yeah, I'm sorry, Endgame. See?
Not to confirm the
I even
spoil.
got it
Just kidding.
wrong. Yeah, but if I knew that Iron Man was gonna die at the end of, Endgame, sure, in the spoiler thing, it might not have said that he says, "I am Iron Man," which makes that scene even cooler,
Mhm.
but it definitely would have taken away the feeling of him dying and
Because
why,
now you're
because I know it's
anticipating it.
coming.
Yes.
So, yeah, is it cool to know that Doom is probably gonna bring Sentinels to life? I'm just bringing up one that we've heard about and talked about. He's gonna bring Sentinels up to life, and they're gonna fight the X-Men? Sure. Do I really want to know that if it happens? No, because, in the theater when it goes to happen, holy moly, how cool would that be? Because you can't hey, spoiler alert, Captain America is gonna wield Mjolnir. Yeah, they don't tell you how and what he does with it, and that's what makes it
Yeah.
cool.
But now you know it's
But
gonna
that moment
happen.
when he has it, you don't know what's gonna happen is
Yep.
so awesome, man. And, like, and it's meaningful, and so I do like certain ones. I like going into movies without spoilers. Certain movies, I'm okay with it, knowing it all depends on my hype for it. So,
Yeah.
also, the thing I wanna touch on is I don't think it's that uncommon for them to share this stuff with in pundits and stuff like that, especially if, like John or Rob, do have a connection to somebody that knows things,
Mhm.
and they're trustworthy to not spoil it,
Yeah.
then they're gonna let them read. I think it happens more than you think. And I think with John, it's even a safer bet because he made that mistake of showing pictures of Spider-Man stuff before
Yep.
and then telling us, "Oh, man, I thought it was fake and it wasn't," and he come right out and apologized.
Mhm.
I think that, if anything, in a way, it's almost like, "Here, read the script," so that when you do see some of these rumors coming, you know which ones not to talk about. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they
Yeah.
do that 100%. I'm not saying they're that deep in, but if you know someone's gonna find out because they're deep enough and they have connections and they don't mean to spoil your movie, I would. I would sit with someone that was a serious news reporter, like I take it, John, when it comes to movies, and say, that the Spider-Man debacle, we're not mad at you because clearly you didn't do it on purpose
Yeah.
and you took it back.
Mhm.
So tell you what, we're gonna offer you this. You want to read the script of this? First of all, we know the person you're connected to, you're going to find this out anyways, probably early, or have the opportunity to. So with that, maybe now when you know what's happening, talk about so when you do get a picture, don't show that picture because you know what's coming.
Yeah.
And I think and that actually would help John in that sense because you said he had stuff blurred out and he made sure, that he made, I still think we're jumping the gun too fast, is my thing. But I do think that happens more than you think. I do. But I think it just depends on who's reporting it. When
Yeah.
you look at the ones that you don't pay attention to that much, it is those guys that are just clickbait. I'm gonna give you all these spoiler things. I don't watch those guys. I'm sure there's enough of them are nice guys and they're fun, but I don't watch them. I would like how John does it, like him to keep as much of it away from me as he can, or give me forewarning if he's gonna talk
Mhm.
about it, like he has. And I think he's done a good job with that. Now the question comes is, do we do this and we jump on board? And some of my personal thoughts about it is you and I still haven't quite decided, right? But I think one
Yeah.
thing we did decide on is we're gonna wait and see what the backlash of what this is. Not
Yes.
necessarily just because of what John said, but in general of the leaks being out.
If someone like Joe or Anthony Russo comes out and says, "We see what's circulating
Exactly.
online,
Yep.
that while that's a cool script, and maybe part of our thought process would be that's not what you're seeing." If you get someone high up enough to debunk it, then we will do a full deep dive in one of our rumor mill rundowns on the whole thing. But until then, I'm very hesitant because if you laid out a couple great examples of Iron Man and doing the snap and all that stuff, had the excitement that I had when I went into X-Men Apocalypse and then Jean turned into the Phoenix and killed Apocalypse. If I had read that before, the whole movie, all I would have been thinking is, when are we going to get it? When are we going to get it?
Yeah.
I loved going into that movie.
The
And
emotional weight was
the
there
emotional
because
way. I literally
happened.
was crying in the theater seat when he said Jean let go and she did that flare. Tears literally were coming out of my eyes because of how passionate I was to see that, and how I literally, as we're walking into the theater for Apocalypse, I said to him, the X-Men can't destroy Apocalypse. If they end this movie with Xavier or Storm or Cyclops or Beast killing Apocalypse, no, it's gonna be a bad movie because it's Apocalypse. They ended it the only way I told you they could
You
end
did
it,
call that.
and they did.
Yeah.
And that's
All is revealed.
oh,
Yeah.
all is
Yeah,
revealed.
yeah.
So that's part of me is like,
As soon as Xavier says, "I'm not alone," I'm like, "Oh,
and
they're gonna do it."
she walks in the camera
Yeah.
and be like, Gene, let go. And like, oh my gosh, guys, I have goosebumps just talking about this. So that's why I'm saying, for this movie, if they're trying to give that same type of feels for you, as it sounds like they want to, do I want to know what's going to happen? Because I want to go into the theater on December 15th, be one of the first people there to see this movie and be like, oh my gosh, Halle Berry really is
Yeah.
there.
I think we
You know?
tread the line real well of, like, in our rumor mill rundown
Yes.
of, well, here's a possible scene that we're gonna be talking about one today, with Magneto. So could that possibly be a spoiler? Yes, it could. But we're not contradicting ourselves by telling you we want to do a full plot leak.
Yeah.
Some of these things, we are very careful about that kind of concept of it, right?
Mhm.
Because I think we could sit down today for 5 hours and come up with a whole different ways of how they're going to do this, and I think we land on some of it being right.
Mhm.
And it's just because there's only so many ways you can
Uh,
do what you're doing, right?
yeah.
So, and personally, like you said it perfect. Until it's from official sources, like, not that John's not official in my mind,
More
it's
official.
trustworthy.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the source of the creators of it, whether
Yes.
it's Marvel, whether it's Disney, any of the leaders in Disney, or the Russos, or
Yep.
Feige,
Yep.
or a writer. You know what I mean? Even then, depending on where they say it and who to. Until they say something that's newsworthy, that is there, then that's when we need to make a decision if we're gonna jump into it or not. And
Yes.
I gotta
So
be frank with you,
yeah.
I'm not sure if I wanna spoil it for myself.
So sorry, guys, if you were anticipating when you saw this on the thumbnail that we're going to talk about the full leak. We're talking about the fact that it happened and what we should do about it. We're not talking about the details of what it is.
We'll talk about small little rumored leaks, like we're gonna next, but we're not going to talk about a full plot leak of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least not right now. Like my brother said, if someone comes out and says, that's cool, that's not what we did, or if any of the trailers, when they get released, start contradicting what and we hear from people that say, well, we read the plot leak, but that wasn't the trailer. That wasn't a part of the plot leak at all. Be like, okay, you're kind of debunking it in the midst of doing that.
Yeah,
So
and before you throw shade at us like, oh yeah, but you talked about the trailer that is CinemaCon and technically that's a leak. That's a trailer officially sent out by Marvel to people to see.
yes,
It's different. We're going to get the same damn thing, guys. We're all going to
yes,
see that.
what they saw there, we will see.
Eventually. So that's nothing that's not, I guess, is that the definition of a leak? Sure. Because if this is true, then we'll see it eventually, right?
When
It's
they,
like, no,
yeah,
they released it.
that's the point.
Marvel released
That's
it.
the point. When they
This isn't just
officially
some
release
guy
something, yeah,
on the set giving you a script,
yes,
which is still could be very true, but I want to hear it from the boss. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
and so no offense to John and them, I do feel like, yeah, I think you guys talking about it gave it a little too much fire.
And that's the
But
thing
that's
about,
okay. Hey, that's the world we live in.
yeah.
The YouTubes these days.
And that's the thing about when they do these trailers, even for CinemaCon, Cinnabon, when they release a trailer like that, they already have released a trailer knowing other people are going to see it. So they're not doing plot leaks in their own
They
trailer.
encourage them to write about it. They actually want them to.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everyone, the moment they got their phones back out, was doing live streams of, oh, I saw this, oh, I saw that. That's not leaks because they showed them official footage.
It's actually promotion. Is what
Actually, yes, it is. That's the whole point of that whole convention thing, was to promote their movie. And this is how big it's going to be. Now, everyone for the next 2 or 3 weeks are going to talk about this one thing of your whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, guys.
Yeah, I think we spent enough time on it. And
Yeah.
guys, like I said, if it does come out and they say it is kind of legit or it's not legit and stuff, Sammy and I will still have to make that decision, and I'm still on the fence.
Yep.
A lot of it is, do we want to spoil it for ourselves, but we also want to be up to date on our show. So we'll see where, I think the measure of it is the response to Marvel to what this is.
Yeah. I agree.
And they're going to respond. There's going to be some sort of.
There has to be. If this is catching the wildfire that already is right now online,
Someone's gonna say something.
you're gonna hear it from someone, in one way or the other. So I think I really do think, like, for the Sony thing, when that second trailer for Spider-Man leaked, and they weren't so quick to take it down, it's because within a matter of less than a week, that was going to be out anyways.
Yes.
So this movie has 6 months, and they're starting reshoots in 3 weeks of this movie. That script could be entirely different than what that plot leak is. That plot leak, by the way, guys, is 1 page. The script for a movie is 200 plus pages.
There's no nuance in it, definitely.
So it's at the same time, is this spoiler? It's spoiler enough because now you get an outline of the movie, if that's even what they're sticking with. Again, we don't know. Until I hear from someone more higher up that says, sorry, you guys got spoiled by it, then we know that's real. Or something else. I don't really want to touch it too much.
Yeah.
We'll touch upon the little things like we're going to do with the Magneto thing in a moment. But that's one thing that's speculation that sounds really cool, and maybe an insider did hear about it, and maybe that is in the script. We don't know.
Yeah,
but
and no
it's not the plot.
Right. And no matter how we feel about spoilers, I will echo something John said that I definitely agree with 100%. In the long run, it's up to you to not be spoiled.
Yep.
So I'm not going to condemn anybody for anything that they decide to do or talk about or how they do it. They want to go ahead and go out there and just say the whole thing or however they do it. That's fine, because I'm the one that needs to choose to watch it or not.
Mm-hmm.
So John is right about that. So that's why I'm not throwing any shade, not saying anyone's done anything wrong. It's not I don't think it's that classy to be a guy that does I wouldn't want to be running a show that does nothing but leaks like that. But at the same time, hey, you guys run shows, you're popular, you're doing your thing, it's your job. I just don't watch it because for me, I like being, I like it in the moment.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's how these movies are supposed to be experienced.
Like when you watched F1 with me, if you knew how that ended, that doesn't change how good the movie is, but it would have made that ending not as, I can't wait to see what's happening, right? And it's just little things like that. I mean, F1's kind of a bad example, but,
Yeah. Or like Apocalypse. Yeah.
Or any of it, right?
Any of them. Yeah. All right. So, guys, questions for you. Have you already seen the plot leak? Have you read it? Have you been dissecting it the whole time? Cool. I'm sorry if we disappoint.
Tell us in the comments. No.
Right? He's the last one. Anyways, Yeah, it just ends with, and Magneto was there alone. The end.
Yeah.
Be like,
Or
whoa.
we get to the theater and it comes up Avengers instead of Doomsday. It's Magneto Day. Like,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Yeah. So please don't do any spoilage on the comments too. Just saying, if you do, you do. But I'm just saying, for those of you who don't want to read about it and you do like our show, just do that on another channel's comments. Either way, guys, because we do read your comments too, by the way. So please do comment, please subscribe, all that fun stuff. But let us know what your thoughts are on this down below. All right. Next up, guys, we are heading into our rumor mill rundown, and I am very excited for a couple of these in particular. So let's just get right on to it.